I wanted to do a little video on why I bought a camera from 2015, a 10-year-old camera in 2025, and why I think this camera is a sleeper in 2025, and it's often overlooked. And today I'm going to talk about that. So why did I buy a Leica Q, the original Q, in 2025? There are options out there like the Q2 and now the Q3. And why did I decide to get the 10-year-old version and not the new version? Let me start by saying I originally had a Q2 at the beginning of the Peace Out tour. That tour was coming up. I was very excited. I've always wanted a Leica for some backstage content, some behind the scenes stuff, some candid stuff. I've always loved the way Leica cameras, I like the way they capture those moments. There's something about the way the Leica look is a real thing. It's not a myth. It's not just a thing Leica owners say just to justify their ridiculously expensive cameras. There's something true about it. The lenses that they use and the processing is beautiful. They render images just stunning. There's something about it. And I think the more experience you get as a photographer, the more you can kind of see it. Now, yes, could you take a picture with a Sony camera or a Canon camera or a Fuji camera and tweak in Lightroom and put it next to a Leica one and say, which one's the Leica? Yeah, I probably wouldn't tell, but straight from camera, there is something to be said. And I've always loved the photographers that I know and friends that I have in the industry when they post their Leica pictures. I'm like, man, there's just something about those. And so I bought the Q2 Ghost Edition, which is a nasty camera. I mean, that thing is, to date, I still think that's one of the prettiest cameras out there. It's just all silver and gray and just so sick. It's a very sick camera, but it was expensive. I bought it like new, used, but like new, and pretty much paid close to full price of what it's worth. And that was a lot of money. And then I didn't get enough time to like really vibe with it or connect with it because the tour ended so quickly. And when it ended, there was a lot of fears and a lot of emotional just unsurety. I was just unsure of what the future held. And I had this expensive camera that was going to be sitting at my house for at least a year. Nothing was going on. Am I going to use it to take pictures of my wife and dogs and stepson and son and just this really ridiculous expensive camera? Or could I just turn around and return it or sell it for literally what I bought it for? And I did. I went and I sold it for pretty much what I bought it for. And since then, I've had a chance to reconnect, borrowing some friends and shooting some. And most recently, the Q2 monochrome edition, which is probably my dream camera overall. And one of the reasons I kind of realized why I didn't vibe with it is because I'm a Sony shooter. I shoot Sony A1 cameras. I have two of them, and they're blazing fast. They're probably one of the fastest autofocusing systems in the industry. Frames per second, it's pretty ridiculous. Now, the A1 is, I don't want to say dated, but it's a little older since it came out. There have been some competitors and even some Sony cameras that are even faster, but I am a fast shooter. I shoot like a machine gun, and I love it. That's my style. And it's just, I don't want to say what I grew up on, but it's what it is how I started shooting, and it's what I do, and it's just what I'm used to. And with a Leica, you need to, the autofocus is terrible. Q1, Q2, Q3, autofocus is the opposite of industry leading. The autofocus is not that great. They're not a machine gun. They're good at 3 frames a second, I think. I don't even know the specs. I just know you have to be a little more deliberate with your shots. You have to kind of slow down and kind of just get into a vibe, you know what I mean? And when I kind of realized that and took a breath and was shooting with them, I realized, man, this is a pretty sick camera, and I did not give it the chance that it deserved. And I definitely regret getting rid of my Ghost. There's a Sony, I think it's an RX. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they just came out. It just dropped. It's a little smaller than this. It's about $5,000. Q2 used and okay conditions, probably about $4,000. Good conditions, 5. Q3 new. I don't think there's many on the used market yet. Is 6,000 plus. Q2 monochrome, I mean, in good condition, they're still going for close to $6,000. Maybe 46 if you can get one. Maybe it's missing the hot shoe cover or something like that, or as third party battery. But yeah, the Q2 and 3 are still like $5,000 to $6,000. There's a Fuji, I think it's the X106, which I was looking at. Those retail for about $1,500. If you can find them on the secondary market, people are selling them for $2,200, $1,800, $2,000. Which brings me to the original OG Q. I got this one for about $2,000. Recently serviced by Leica. Had the paperwork, receipts, all that kind of stuff. $2,000 for a Leica. This lens alone, this Summilux 28 millimeter 1.7 lens is probably worth $6,000 by itself. If you bought this Leica lens for their M series or their S series, a similar lens would be close to $6,000. What they say about the Q is, buy the lens, get the body free. That's kind of why it's so expensive, because there's nothing spectacular about the body. It's very basic. I mean, it's built like a tank, but it's pretty basic, you know, some buttons in the back, some, you know, switches and dials on the top. There's nothing to write home about. No flippy screen. The resolution of this is okay. The resolution of this is terrible. Autofocus, not that great. Like I said, it's quirky. But this thing is a sleeper. It is a beast. In 2025, this thing is nasty. And I think it's overlooked when it comes to cameras in general. It's 24 megapixels, which is fine in this day and age. Like, how much of your stuff is going on social media? You don't need more than 24 megapixels. Even if you're doing large prints, you don't need more than 24 megapixels. Yes, the Q2 is 40 something. The Q3 is 60. That's only good if you're going to crop, or if you're like looking crop, like, yeah, you know, or you're pixel peeping. 24, if I'm posting, you know, the band backstage, she's getting ready for a show, or walking down the hallway, you're only zooming in so much on your phone. Like, nobody's pixel peeping. Nobody cares. I just think this is a steal. This isn't really like a review. This is more of not an unboxing. What would you call it? First look. This is a first look at the Leica Q, the original one from 2015. I'm really excited to be doing what I'm doing in the next couple of weeks, to get out there and take some photos. I've been shooting 90% RAW plus, well, I've been shooting at 100%, but RAW plus JPEG, and I have it set to the monochrome profile, and which only affects the JPEGs. The RAWs still come out just straight from camera. But the JPEGs, the black and white JPEGs just from camera, are post-worthy. They're nasty. They look so good. Yeah, so I'm psyched. So I just wanted to jump on here really quick before I have to pack again to leave for a week, and then come home for a couple days, and then leave for a week, and then come back home. I just wanted to get out here and give like some love and a shout out for the original Q. I know you got a lot of these YouTube guys with tons of money, and they're making all that, you know, the AdSense money, and they have the latest and greatest, and they talk about how awesome the Q2 is, and oh, I need the Q2 43, and, you know, Q3 43 or whatever, which is a 43 millimeter version of the Q. It's Q3. There's a Q3 with the 28 millimeter, and then there's a Q3 with, I think, a 43 millimeter lens. And then there's there's a Q2 monochrome, and then there's the original Q. My dream camera is the Q2 monochrome, but I am not spending $5,000 on a camera right now when I just have a few things going on. But man, for $2,000, anywhere, I've seen these anywhere between like 1,800 and like 2,300. Some of them even a little less. You do have to be careful. These aren't weather sealed, and I guess it can get some dust in the lens. You can send it off to Leica, and the conservator said I think it's like $400 or something like that. Thankfully, like I said, this one was just service about $2,000. But man, this is a sleeper. This thing is a banger. Or as the kids say, it slaps. Yeah, that's it, man. I just wanted to jump on here really quick. Tell you, if you're looking to get into like a good point and shoot, and you want to get into the Leica system, don't sleep on the Q, the original Q. I think it's a beast of a camera. I think you could put this up there with anything. I mean, what would be close? And a Sony, I'm a Sony guy, so a Sony A7CR, is that like the little one? But again, that body's like $2,000. And then you're going to need a lens. And you want a prime lens. You want the Sony, what is it, the 24 millimeter, what is it, 1.4, I think is what my 24 millimeter is. Or, yeah, I think it's a 1.4. I mean, that's like another $1,500, I think, for that lens, if not more. So now you're talking, that's $3,500. Yeah, you're getting close to like a Q price. Man, you'd save money buying this. Yeah, I think it's a sleeper, and I think go out there and check it out. And I will give a full review coming up soon, probably after a month or so of using it, and using it for the next couple weeks with things coming up. But yeah, that's it, everybody. I just want to jump on really quick, do a video. It's been a minute. And yeah, as I always say, that is all. Carry on.